I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Treasurer Kruger.
Here.
Trustee Hoppy. Here. Trustee Newton.
Here.
Supervisor Hill.
Here.
Clerk Squires. Here.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion at this time to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, trustee Newton. Support.
I'll support that.
Support by trustee Hoppy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. You can find our elected officials reports on the back table as well as out on the internet.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Did you want to approve the, for tonight?
I can't, it's too close. I keep forgetting.
I just-
Thanks for the catch. I
didn't mean to step on,
It's kind of.
Thanks for paying attention to
I
it.
didn't mean to step on your
So,
toe.
hey, let's back up. We'll grab that real quick. Does anybody have any additions or corrections to the meeting agenda tonight? Hearing none, would you like to make the motion to accept it, Terry?
I will make that motion.
Thank you. Any
I'll
support?
support that.
Supported by trustee Hoppy. Any further discussion on the agenda? Not hearing any, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carries. Thanks. I guess we're gonna have to make a bigger bold there for
All
the
right.
eyeballs
Work on it.
in there. So we're to
We'll
the,
highlight it.
again, the elected officials reports. I would entertain a motion to that they be accepted and placed on file.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support that.
Thank you. Motion and supported. Motion by trustee Newton, supported by trustee Osmond, or excuse me, Hoppy. It's always gonna be really hard for me.
Oh, I let him. I just said they're gonna have to call him laughing.
I don't know, I don't want to say. Yeah, we'll have two gyms and, two owns there. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carries. Thank you. We're at point in time, public comments on our action items tonight. There's a large volume of 3. Does anybody wish to make any public comments on those agenda items before we take our intended actions? Is there anybody, there's one on Zoom?
Yeah, Greg C-Mac.
Okay, very good. All right, very good. I'm not seeing any, so we'll go on to our new business. First order of business is to accept the 2023-24 Gerrish Township audit. I would entertain a motion that we approve that as presented. I'll make the motion. Moved by trustee, or excuse me, treasurer Kruger. And then support.
I'll support.
Supported by clerk Squires. Any further discussion, board? Have any either? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Thank you. Number 2, I would entertain a motion to accept the Dave Hall letter of intent, which is the revision of one, to leave the Gerrish Line Utility Authority at-large position, to accept that at this time.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
A motion made by clerk Squires and supported by trustee Newton. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, the same. Motion carries. And before we take the third motion, does clerk Squires or trustee Kruger, do you want to just do any kind of briefing on that? I know we've talked about it now at 2 meetings
On the sanitation piece?
on the sanitation.
Sure.
That's number 3 on my agenda. Is it yours?
It is.
Okay, good.
Got lots to talk about though, so I didn't know. Yeah, no, the sanitation piece we have been talking about for a few months. After doing due diligence, go through and look at our costs, we did have to increase it this year just because of the cost of increasing for the service and, taking care of the compost site. After figuring that in, we came up with $224 per parcel that will be added on to the winter tax. And of course, we have a breakdown if anybody feels necessary to see it. I'd be more than happy to share it with you. Pretty much simplified with the fact that we're on this year that we're going into for the 25-26 is the last year of the contract. And so, we've been locked in for that 5-year contract and it's it will expire at the end of this 26, so. Actually, it's not, end of 26, it's middle. So we'll have to look at that again, but I think GFL has been great since we had them compared to other companies that we've had in the past. That's all I have.
Some of those considerations were obviously the TDE company that takes away the mountain of, or I should say mountain compost over there. And the, obviously our gate is not getting any younger. It's cost us all some renewal money, as well as we now have a proper mechanical contract on it. And of course, paying our road ring company that turns it over regularly and makes sure it's in presentable fashion. And they also assisted this year in my final. I'll let you know that we obviously was able to submit the report for the new Eagle permits for there, and we paid our permit fee. Then the report is due for November 15th each year, and that was submitted today, courtesy of Your Green. Thank God they had the equipment that actually you can mark and measure, because I'm not sure what we would have done, to be honest with you. So, and then key fobs, and then of course budgeting in an excavating company that sometimes has to fill in that limestone stuff because it digs out with winter and the water. So that's the consideration. So
Can I say one more thing?
yeah, no, I just want people to know
Yeah.
what we're doing.
And I do want to add to that at this time, we are still using the $10 cost of a key fob for life. And moving forward, in the very near future, we're gonna have to look at changing that just because of the cost to continue with the service. That's all.
You have a board member?
Here's a quick question. The new parcel is 224, and that's up about how much? Okay,
6 and some change.
okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Anybody else, any board member can comment on that?
probably a lower percentage than most everything else that we've had to have an increase on. And I say it like that, not being smart. I honestly think that because we're in the last year of a 5-year contract.
With that being said, is there a board member that wishes to make a motion to accept the proposed Gerrish Township sanitation fee for 25-26 assessment to be conveyed to the county?
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Okay, Larry, you got the first motion on that, and supported by trustee Hoppy. Any further discussion, board? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose the same, motion carries, thank you. We are now to the public comment section of our board meeting. Anybody?
I had some trouble finding your agenda, sorry. I had trouble. Come over. I had trouble getting your agendas to open. On your Facebook or on your website. If you tap on them, I can find them. Fairly easy to find them when you tap on them, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't load.
I tried it this afternoon because
Yeah.
Ronson said something to me and I didn't have a problem. I went up under agendas, like, are you going up to that icon under agendas?
Yeah, and then open it up. And it's like,
Agenda
free
2024.
Yep.
And you couldn't get that open?
Yeah, I did window, I was using my phone.
You're using what?
Window, my phone. It wouldn't open up. Yeah.
Maybe
I
it's
tried
your
all
phone.
to figure it out.
Yeah, I ran
It
after
just
you today.
doesn't do anything.
You had already left, I was trying to
Okay,
catch
I'll look
you.
into it.
And
I'll
that
try to
is probably
computer
what it
see what
is, Tim. Things present differently on the phone, because I know when I look at our website on the phone, it's definitely looks different than what it does on, you know, like a laptop or
It's
something.
supposed to be website, there's phone optimized.
It is, but it's still not
I
exactly the
will
same.
ask the question.
Yeah, I just did phone.
I
I never
appreciate
did get
the
it till
feedback.
now, so.
It's not
Another
really
it's
not,
so
right?
it's something that's trying to do something else to open up. And we need a different location or something.
What is it?
I tried to open something else, so I can't remember what it was, but when I failed on that, I tried something
Shoot us
else.
an
to see
email
if
or
it worked,
something.
so.
Remember that, yeah.
Tim, anytime you get something like that, email.
Well, it was eight, it was like 5.
Well, if you can, just email me, so that I know, anybody in the audience,
Yeah.
if you're
Because we
experiencing
still, I mean,
anything.
this is all new still, you know, and if there's that kind of thing happening, if we don't know it, we can't fix it.
Yeah,
But they are very, very responsive, the company, I mean, the calendar thing, we're talking about that at the work session, put 3 weeks of the heck on it. And just little things, you know.
You
that
realize.
hits. And so I will look into that one tomorrow.
yeah, I'll take the one.
Yeah.
I tried to open up, it said it wasn't available yet or something.
There shouldn't be any of that on there unless it's a broken connection, but I know the agendas.
They were.
I looked at them all today myself, and they opened right up.
I tried other ones.
Yeah.
There was a-
Those didn't open either.
They just. Failed, open, so. It looks like it wants to try. and it just-
Okay. I'll ask them.
Okay.
Yep, thank you. Anybody else in the public comment section? Okay. Hearing or seeing no one else. Trustee Newton, how would you like to kind of touch us off with your file before we do announcements?
Well, first of all, since it is a lame duck administration, I was gonna wear my Ducks Unlimited vest tonight. But I forgot. But I would like to thank the board, for putting up with me for the past years. And especially you, Mary Jo, it's been 4 years you've had to put up with me. And I appreciate your kindness, all of you. Secondly, I'd like to welcome the new board. And I wish you all the best of luck. I know you're going to do a great job. And finally, I'd like to thank all you people for having me here.
Gary,
Thank you.
and you're not going far,
I'm
right?
not going far. I'll still be around if you need something. Don't be afraid to call.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Larry?
Well, it's been an interesting 2.5 years, but I have enjoyed it and I appreciate the opportunity to do what I can to help the township. And thank you, Carrie said, for all the time I spent here and everywhere. And for the new board, hopefully they'll just take right over and not go early.
Thank you. Mary Jo?
I wish both of you guys well, and I'll still see you around. Other than that, comments, I'm glad the truck retreat was a great success. Park on Carlos is still in progress, but should be completed soon. And, other than that, I don't have any news.
Okay, Michelle?
I want to wish both you guys the best in your next chapters, whatever they may be. I also wanted to give like some high fives out there to this community coming out like they did with the election. We had an awesome turnout. We had 736 voters for the 9 days of early voting. We had 97% return on our absentee voter ballots. We had 970 mailed out with 942 returned, which that blows my mind. And then for between early voting, absent voting, and election day, it figured out to 75% of the registered voters in Gerrish Township showed up to vote. So, very happy we're through it, passed it. But also, like you say, this was my first presidential election, and it's astounding to me the difference of how many people come out for this compared to all the other elections, like they're not as important or something as how I perceived it, but you know, these numbers were just amazing, so. Thank you to everybody.
For me, again, gentlemen, my heartfelt thank you for your service. On the board, you know, these positions up here, I know that lots of people like to bounce things off of you, shall we say. And I've always said politics is not for the faint of heart. So I thank you for your willingness to dip your feet into the pond, or so, and you'll be missed. But I truly appreciate your service, and thank you for your time here on the board. The election, I just wanted to make a comment on it. I thought it went very, very well here. For the presidential election, again, was quite a few. Obviously, with as polarized as the country has been, it always had the opportunity potentially to be something other than savory, but it was good.
Nothing but nice people.
I was here. I didn't have anybody in my office or otherwise complaining about this, that, or the next thing. I thought it went well. A lot of citizens all came in and came in with which shall I say, a great attitude.
I did not thank my
What's that?
election workers. I did not thank my election
going to-
workers.
And of course, I do think that the caliber election workers that we had, I think they contributed to that as well. And a nice cross section of parties and a good group of souls as well. Those again, to volunteer your service for those things. Especially in the environment we've been living in.
Yeah.
So God bless them all. I thank them every day they were here. Because it's, you know, again, you don't just walk in and work an election. You got to be trained to work in the election. And so they dedicated themselves. And then we had the extra 9 days of voting. Kudos to the clerk's office, Deputy Clerk Fever and Michelle for the 9 days straight voting, if you will. In here, meaning that people have to be in here when they did normally have to be in here, so thank you for that as well. And they didn't hear me complaining about it either, so that was very nice as well, so thank you for that. Is a update on the, again, the compost site, Rotary, and had done the work on that for us, thank you to them. It certainly wasn't in their regular contract, if you will, to help us out to do that, as it was thrust upon us. They stepped up and said they would agree to help, and they did so. And again, on the audit note, I'm happy that we're back on, shall I say, a regular schedule. And audit, look forward to maintaining that for the years to come as well. And that is all I have to say. So we're now on to,
Excuse me,
yes,
was there an update on the well and the water system?
I gave you one a few days ago. You want another one?
No, I just
Nothing's
curious.
changed.
Okay,
Well, I shouldn't say, I was in here better in the morning and waiting for the welder-owned company to come. That was the day they chose to come. Holiday in the building, and supposedly the health department was supposed to be here to test, but I'm not sure the health department works on Veterans Day. But they may, I don't know, but they weren't here, Jim. And you didn't see any sign of them, correct?
Never saw.
So the welder-owned company has taken their own test to, and I'm sure I'll be having those results in the next day or two, as to whether the well itself, they pulled the well and tested at the well to make sure the coliform isn't coming from there. And so the forever hold that we're forever holding at this point. And thankful to all the employees bringing in water. I don't think it's got to play, but at the end of the day, we must get a clean bill of health and water before we can open drinking water back up and the like. And so therefore, we still are not renting the hall. Until we get something that's solid.
thank you.
Thank you for asking that.
I'm sure you're
Very
pleased.
It's like a band of mine. Hey, thanks. Mr. Was that your parting shot?
Last but saying.
I could go on if you'd like to do, but I won't.
Kudos.
All right, well, I think we've heard all the comments and we've heard the board. Do we have it? Is there any board member have announcements?
Big quit yet, but we got Thanksgiving this month. We're at the end of the month somewhere there.
Fall under, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Other than that, I got nothing, no other announcements.
Mary Jo?
Well, looking forward to November 20th. By November 20th. Hey, I wish we could keep the old too.
Larry, you mentioned? In case you didn't notice, because I don't want anybody saying we didn't post this thing for 18 hours ahead of time, we do have a board special meeting on November 18th at 8:30 in the morning. And the reason why is because we have to beat a deadline, if you will. We switch from our health insurance policies from May to January. And in order to have our cards in people's hands, we must look at those policies. Our insurance committee will meet on the 15th, and then we'll have something to recommend, if you will, to the board. And then, of course, we have a procedural item, which is called Public Act 152. And what that act does is it allows us to opt out of an automatic 80-20. Our policies are what I call the Obamacare gold, if you will, which always is underneath the 80-20 mandate that's put forth in Public Act 152. So there's a couple of procedural things that we have to do. And unfortunately, we don't have that. We've seen a prelim, but the whole insurance committee has not met yet, so that's why.
We are gonna have an addition to that meeting too, to authorize the fire department to apply for a grant.
Oh, okay. All right, now the parent would be an add-on as well,
Yeah.
but it's been posted for a little bit. It's out on the internet as well. So I apologize for that. We try and keep those to a minimum, but unfortunately, the timeline, we've got to move this forward if we'd like to have the employees have health cards in their hands. So that's all I got.
Okay,
Y'all want to stay here?
no, you're gonna call it?
Yeah. Would you like to make a motion to adjourn at 7:22?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Terry.
I'll support that.
Thank you, trustee Housen. Any further discussion? All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for staying for a very brief agenda.